even have a fucking mascot. You don't have a fucking mascot. What the fuck is a Washington football team? Every team is a football team.
Fucking live in the city.
That's stupid.
You're a Ravens fan.
The Dallas football team. That's stupid.
Fucking, I'm a Lakers fan.
Okay, no moves from K-Dot. Okay, great.
I'm trying to hold everything in right now.
Something different about Kadeem today. I love it. All right, welcome back to All Sorts of Sports.
All sorts of sports. I know what it is. I'm wearing white.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's
He doesn't
Sunday.
wear white.
He's pure today.
I'm pure. I got my Sunday service in today.
Okay, yay. So this episode will come out for the next.
I worship at
month.
the Church of Satan. I know James's favorite thing that I say on the podcast.
Nope. All right. So episode
Nope.
80. Episode 80. We reached 80, the Jerry Rice
The
episode.
Lavernius Coles
The
episode.
Vernius Cole.
Lavernius versus Jerry Rice. I'm with it.
In what sense?
I don't think
Clever
Lavernius
names.
is with it.
Where
I
is
think-
it? Where is he?
Lavernius?
Yeah.
Probably owns a couple car dealerships at
Is
this
he doing
point.
like afternoon radio in Newark? Like about
He
Jets.
seems like a guy who'd be like a high school coach now.
He might
like,
be, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like leading
Wearing a
a big
visor.
program somewhere. Like, oh man, they always have the best stuff.
I see him with a visor, a white polo, khaki shorts, with like the whistle
sure.
hanging around the back.
For sure. And he pulls up to practice in his like Hummer or like
That was
and
cool
his
in
Bentley
like
truck.
01. He's got his Hummer's got 120,000 miles on it. Somehow that was the second game check he ever got. He bought that bitch.
Oh no, he's just being a dad.
Yep.
Oh, good for him,
Father
man.
of four.
He's
For
got
him. Look at that.
his kid is a running back at Central Florida. One of them is a
His name
running
is
back at
Trillian.
Central Florida. One is the SGA president at the University of Miami. One of them's at Bethune-Cookman.
Good man. HBCU, baby.
Cookman.
Yep.
And then
My cousin went there.
he's got a 4-year-old. So we don't know what
Zaya.
Zaya is capable of. Good for him.
Taylor's a student
Good job.
at
And he-
Bethune-Cookman.
Where is he living? Duval.
Of
Yeah.
course. Of course.
Lavernius, congrats. Look like you got your life together. Still, it's fuck you energy because I know you didn't like your time here at Washington. We didn't like you either.
But I mean, he gave you Santana Moss, so
I was just I completely forgot he played for Washington. I just think of him as with the Jets.
It was a very, very short-lived time.
It was
I mean,
a
you got
talk.
Santana Moss from there. So
Yeah, we got Santana Moss. And look, Santana Moss is a top 50 greatest Washington football team player.
Yeah,
Oh,
and he
okay.
used to have nice bandanas.
Yes.
I'm
I
sorry,
mean, but like if you're going with historically the best like outfits or the best dress, it's always to be Clayton Portis and his outfits.
so
I'll-
this is what I was gonna say.
Always.
As far as teams and like the squads within teams or like friendships that just are fun on a team, it is hard to beat the Washington football team from like circa 05 to like 08. Clinton Portis, Sean Taylor, Santana Moss, them boys were having so much fun. All them you boys in the same room, drinking Hennessy before the games.
Our tight end, what's his face?
Chris
Just banging-
Cooley
just banging all the
in short
cheerleaders.
shorts. Chris Cooley in short shorts while everybody else just getting drunk on Henny. It was a great time in Washington that period.
Yeah,
Just point that out.
I enjoy it. I might be a
You
little
guys done?
distracted because Tristan McKenzie is pitching a perfect game through 7 for the Cleveland Indians.
they're not that anymore, right?
They are still that. Next year they
Next year,
What did they go to? The Guardians?
Guardians.
Guardians.
Cleveland
Yeah, Guardians.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, so the towers on the bridge in Cleveland are called the Guardian Towers, so they went with
Oh.
Yeah, they decided to use a 5th grader who first learned Photoshop with that logo though. The
It's
G with
awful.
the angel wings is
It's awful.
trash.
But the fans seem to like it, so that's I guess that's what matters.
Yeah, I mean that's all that really matters.
I mean, whatever.
Guardians is kind of cool too. It sounds, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to go see the Guardians play.
And once you know that it is like very Cleveland.
I mean, that sounds like
their bridge,
like a created team from Madden, and like
it does, like a fake expansion team.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't hate the name. I hate the logo.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so let's get into some serious news. All right, so we're gonna start this off by saying rest in peace to Gerd Müller. I said his name right?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. One of the greatest Bundesliga players ever. Made his trade at Bayern Munich, particularly.
And German international.
I know Mauricio's feeling it this morning. And also rest in peace to Bobby Bowden, the great Florida State coach. I know you guys didn't watch Gerd Müller play, well, or his highlights for that matter. Neither I didn't. Ryan, did you?
I mean, I'm friends with Mauricio. I've seen him play.
Fair enough.
Legendary for Bayern and also for a very good German team, almost unbeatable during some of those years. So really young too. He's in his 70s.
75.
Yeah, so that's sad. Bobby Bowden, we knew this was coming. We didn't know what the disease was. Found out it was pancreatic cancer, but tough. But he said he was at peace. He was, in his 90s. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're gonna go out, that's definitely the way to do it. So
I kind of view like Bobby Bowden's death as kind of how I view Cicely Tyson's when she died. It was like once you get to a certain point, like good for you. Like hats off. Like thank you for your contribution to society. We love you. I hope you're at peace. And that's it.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna start off with some NBA news. Luka re-signed with the Mavs finally. What was it? 5 years, $207 million.
Yep, he got the max that he could get.
Money.
Yep. I saw like fucking Skip Bayless talking about how Luka doesn't deserve it. And yeah.
I'm kind of with Skip. I mean, he's a ball hog. He hasn't really done it. No, I'm joking. I'm sorry. I root for stars to make the guys around him better. And what has he done for Chris? That's not a goddamn thing. No, I'm joking.
Hey, but he got Tim Hardaway paid though.
Yeah.
Hey, he's looking out for his friends, man. That I can appreciate. Look, Luka, this is just business-wise super smart for Dallas, and it's good for Luka. Luka's got a huge bag. He's going to get, if he continues on this trajectory, more bags. He's going to get lots more bags in the future because he's going to be like 27 when this is over.
Yeah.
Like
around that.
He's going to be like peaking if he is the superstar we think he is. And also now the Mavs know exactly what they're paying their superstar for the next 5 years. So they can put pieces around him and plan for it. Genius.
I wonder if there's a player option.
Genius.
I think there is at the end of it.
Right? Yeah.
Luka did exactly what he needed to do, which was play his butt off to get paid so he can be lazy now, like we all know he's going to be.
Wait. Do we think we get fat Luka at the beginning of every season now?
Oh, he's going the James Harden route?
No, is he going the Jokic route?
Yeah, he's just going to come in like 30 pounds overweight, play himself into game shape by mid-season, go to the playoffs, and like secure a bag again every fucking year.
Tip off at the beginning of the year, Luka looking like Action Bronson 3 years ago.
Yo, he threw out the ceremonial first pitch at the Mets game yesterday. Dude, Bam Bam Baklava has lost some weight, and he is looking swole as shit. I had no clue.
That's awesome.
Man. Yeah, actually, also, he has that one with Chance the Rapper. That always forget.
Why you always all on my back? I love Baby Blue. No, that's my shit. That's like the only Action Bronson song I know. So,
but it's so goddamn good.
It is great. It's great. And Chance is back when Chance was good too. Like, oh man,
back when he was good.
Yeah, Chance hasn't been good since 2016.
I'm gonna drop this, and this may be an unequal opinions episode. We need to revisit Chance as a whole and wonder whether or not he was ever good.
Yes, he was. Cocoa butter. I play cocoa
I'm
butter
trying to
kisses.
figure out if he was
day.
really actually good or did he just get lucky for a small period of time. I don't know. I'm looking back because right now I'm seeing content of somebody that I can't imagine I ever thought was good.
I fully agree. I think his last album was a borderline unlistenable.
It was.
It's just I feel like he's gotten away. This for another episode. He's gotten away from what core Chance is, which is like goofy, kind of out there, but lyrically, like with his goofiness, just out of this world good. That Action Bronson song being front and center for me because that verse is hilariously good. So
I think,
whatever.
And I think like Chance, probably unrealistically, like some other rappers, he like raps like about where he is in life. When he was in that period of life, Chance was a little toxic. Like he was good. He was doing some drugs.
Chance,
then he
nobody wants to listen about God and your love.
I'm just saying, no, and see that's wrong. That's wrong because that ultralight beam verse. No, but that ultralight beam verse is amazing, right? But that's he hasn't. Okay, so he hasn't been good since that ultralight beam verse. So it was like what 17, 18. So 16, but yeah,
16,
was it 16 too? Well, that's crazy. All right, but yeah, so like people, it's not even his subject matter. It's just that he just got like whack as fuck.
Happy.
Like
no one wants the happy guy. It's the same with M. Do drugs again. But listen to you.
Dude, he did a verse.
I don't think so.
M did a verse on Nas's album, the EPMV verse. Yeah. I don't know if he's doing drugs again, but it sounds like it.
Nah, M can still rap. M can still rap.
His features are fine. His features are still great.
Yeah.
His solo shit.
I think he had to evolve. I mean, but that's because like the Kamikaze album was good. That was a good album. But like nobody wants to listen to him talk about raping people and shit anymore. It's like that's the same reason Tyler Creator like has evolved and like people can listen to him now. Ain't nobody want to listen to fucking that goblin shit. That shit is fucking ass. Ain't nobody trying to hear that in 2021. But now like you pieced up the subject matter.
Tyler has at least an entire creative direction behind something. M gotta come with bars, and there's like, dog. It's the same reason. Struggle equals art. I want to hear. So it's like when your life is too good, you're not funny usually anymore. You know, you can't give me music I want to hear. There's got to be a certain element of struggle. I'm sorry.
You're not trying to cover the pain with the art, and then
M needs competition. He needs somebody to go at him. Like he's more of like even closer to battle rap.
Let's go.
All right, James, you can take back over. I'm sorry.
Okay. Hey. I was just seeing how far y'all was gonna go with this.
Oh, we just take over the rest of the episode. It's been a slow news week in sports.
Well, no, because right now we're gonna talk about how wrong you were.
Oh, he's serious. Look at his face.
Yeah,
look at that face. He got that.
Do you remember the whole discussion about Kawhi and how Kawhi was not re-signed with the Clippers?
Which one? We've had plenty of discussions.
No, not plenty.
But Kawhi just re-signed with the Clippers for 4 years, $176.3 million. He actually signed this time.
I believe it when I see it. No, I'm checking.
No, you saw it.
I ain't seen shit. I ain't seen a single on the paper.
Do you want me to show you the paper?
I ain't seen anything. Yeah, Kawhi 6 months from now. I didn't sign shit. That was my cousin. Like, I'm telling you right now, I don't believe it until I see his ass in uniform playing. Look, all right, fair. That's fine. I was wrong. I'll admit I'm wrong. I'll be as loud as I was. I am wrong.
The decibels weren't there.
I need that on loop. I am wrong. I need that on loop.
But I'm so shit. The last like 3 podcasts I've done, I'm just gonna apologize for shit.
It hurts so good.
Like I had to do a formal apology to Team USA. It's fucking bullshit. Look, but the Kawhi thing, I just honestly thought after seeing what it is we saw after San Antonio, where he gets bounced out of there, goes to Toronto. He wins in Toronto, bounces himself out of Toronto to go where he wants to. We remember all the shenanigans behind the whole Lakers conversations, and he was going to go to this team. And he held out as best as possible to kind of fuck everybody over and then signed with the Clippers. Going into this year, I mean, you start hearing the same kind of rumblings just a little bit as far as what was happening with his medical diagnosis. Some things started sounding a little fishy again. And if I'm going based on Kawhi's track record, one would say he dipped. So, like, I thought that it was completely within a realm of reason, and I thought it was pretty much guaranteed that I'd follow his track record and say he'd leave. Because, I mean, right now, if you look at the Clippers, the last 2 years, they've supposed to be playing for a championship. It has been bad luck, injuries, ill times, or whatever that has led them to be less than what it is we thought they would be. I thought that in combination with everything else was just a recipe for Kawhi to leave. Because, I mean, shit, if you're really looking around the landscape, there are certain teams that Kawhi added to becomes really, really interesting. There's some room for him places. And I thought that it just seemed like it was the perfect offseason to make that happen. But I guess he's secure in LA. And it is what it is.
In Los Angeles is the best way to be in Los Angeles.
Look, I see a lot of people are saying that I think it was Skip Bayless. I hate saying I'm going to agree with Skip Bayless on something, but Skip Bayless put out there that he said the next 3 years he won't win a championship for the Clippers. I'm with him on that. I don't think he wins a championship in LA. I just don't. I don't see everything lining up the way it needs to for them to.
Well, if you go back to what you said before, where you said like this year would be the last time that one of the players from the older guard is going to win, and then after that, it's just going to be all new kids. So right. I mean,
LA's not my top pick. Like right. if I'm looking at that, I'm still if Clay comes back, I got Golden State over the Clippers.
That's no guard.
That's what I'm saying. I said one more of the old guard.
So this year. So I'm thinking past year.
Right. So what I'm saying is one more of the old guard will win going forward, right? So if I'm looking around, I like Brooklyn more than I like the Clippers. I like Golden State more than I like the Clippers. And no one on God's green earth knows how the Lakers are going to shape up. But I just love the talent in that room. And I think when push comes to shove, you've got three guys going to be willing to do whatever the fuck it takes to get past it. So I pick them above. And that's three teams automatically that I'm looking at above them. And I also look at Kawhi. There might have been some places he goes to that I think may have given him a better shot. One of the teams that you fucking root for in Dallas. I think a Luka and Kawhi show is actually really entertaining for me. I think it allows it allows Luka to maybe hit another level. So I don't know. There were some things that I thought
he would have gone there if he didn't tear his ACL. He would have moved if he didn't tear his ACL. Like as soon as he tore his ACL, he got the surgery. They reported that he didn't tell the team until afterwards because he probably didn't trust them. Like he wasn't going to sign a 1-year deal with the Clippers.
I just thought he would, because what did KD do when he went to Brooklyn? He wasn't healthy. You remember that KD?
Same thing. So he had, it was like a 3-year deal, I think.
Yeah, but my thing was like
2 year.
Right, and they let it ride. They were like, we're going to get KD, so we don't give a shit. We'll wait for you to be healthy.
Yeah.
And I thought that we were looking at
he's already in LA. So
I thought that might be the situation where we were looking at with Kawhi. I honestly, and once again, I was wrong.
Also, let's just put this out there that the Lakers have the remaining players from one of the greatest drafts of all time, the 03 draft. So they're going to be tough to stop.
Are they?
Well, the one part that I thought was interesting is how like all the other players took less money to go there. Like, for example, Kendrick Nunn. Like, he shouldn't be playing for as low as the minimum amount of that he is playing for, in my opinion.
It's not that good, though.
He's not that good, but he's worth way more than what he's playing for.
But I think for the Kendrick Nunn thing, similar to what, and I know we're going to get to this in a second, what happened to Schröder. Kendrick Nunn is trying to get to a place where he can get 15, 20 minutes and like spotlight minutes where people are actually watching him so he can get paid his next contract.
Well, because he had that in Miami.
No, he didn't. He was hardly playing in Miami.
Yeah.
I mean, but they got to the finals.
But he wasn't playing because he was injured.
All right, let's get to Schröder.
He didn't play for shit except for garbage minutes this year. So
let's get to Schröder.
Hey, so some people get the bag and tumble it, and some get the bag, they flip it and fumble it.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I feel bad for the guy, but do I? Not really.
My favorite quote from this story is someone said that Brittany Renner has a better agent than Dennis Schröder.
I want to make it.
She definitely picks her victims better.
We need to make it through a podcast where she's not mentioned.
No, the next one she won't be. The next one she won't be.
Do you have
we don't know. Have you seen PJ Washington's Instagram story? It might need to be mentioned.
I feel like James is getting Brittany Renner kickbacks. Every time she gets mentioned, I think you're getting something.
No.
Okay.
But, all right.
Get a few
So
dollars.
Dennis Schroeder went from it was an $84 million offer from the Lakers to
4-year, $84 million offer, which was in my mind, Laker fan, I thought it was like, okay, that's good. It's $21 million a year. Like, okay, he don't need to get paid like $30 million. That'd be crazy. But like he's like borderline all-star. That's all-star money, really. That's all-star money, and he isn't an all-star. He's a borderline all-star caliber player. And I thought it was a good contract, but just as somebody who I'm always, bet on yourself type of guy. But the thing about that is betting on yourself can humble you, and you bet on yourself and know your worth. And he didn't know his worth.
Right. And he ended up just signing with the Celtics for, what was it, 5.9 million?
Yes.
Over 1 year, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he better hope the C's are fucking on fire this year.
But also, who is advising him? Like, who advised him not to take that deal? Because first of all, you would have been in LA, not to just let's throw Bron to the side. You got AD for the rest of his prime. It's you and AD really, because y'all are around the same age. Who advised him not to take $21 million a year?
Somebody said, "Bet on yourself, Dennis," and he was like, "Yeah," and then it just didn't work out.
Not at all.
Look, but here's a good thing. Here's like the saving kind of grace of his contract is there's going to be a lot of places he can go after this 1 year deal's over, and if he has a half decent season this year, he'll be getting a bag next year. Lest we forget, Otto Porter Jr. got a supermax deal like 5 fucking years ago, and those deals are still getting thrown around like it's nobody's fucking business. So Dennis Schroeder, there will be a place for him.
Who signed Otto Porter Jr. to a max?
Golden State.
Oh, it's Golden State, yeah. And then he went to the Bulls on that same deal.
So wait, is that the
no, he's with Golden State this year. Yeah. Washington, I think, originally signed him to the deal, and then they sent him to Chicago.
We shipped him to Chicago.
But there's gonna be a lot of places for him. This is just a 1 year deal. Obviously, it's a much smaller number, but there's going to be some people aging out, some teams that just need a Dennis Schroeder-like player that he's going to get a bag, and maybe he just didn't want to risk the prime of his career for, $20 million a year, which is a crazy thing to do, but maybe the bet on yourself in the long run plays out. But if he gets injured this year, oh my God, he made a bad decision.
His agent is Ademola Okalaja, who's a former German professional basketball player. Played 10 years in a bunch of leagues over there, and his only client is Dennis Schroeder. Sounds like somebody might need to look for new
readjust.
Well, I mean, Dennis Schroeder is German, right?
Yeah, I think there's a connection there, but might need to be a little more fiscally responsible, or somebody that has more fiscal responsibility.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens after this season. If he ends up with $35 million over 5 years, then he made the right decision.
It's the prove it thing. I mean, that's what you can say about a lot of the Lakers players is that you look at this last offseason when all the rumors were going around as far as like who they were going to trade or get rid of to go try to get a Beal or Westbrook or whatever, right? All these guys became punchlines to shit, like Kuzma, Schroeder, all those guys, because of how much they disappointed last year. So I agree with it being a prove-it year. This is them saying, hey, we want you to forget about last year. It was a weird year, asterisk season. I'm capable of doing X. And I hope it works out for him. I don't want to see anybody lose that much fucking cash over the course of a year, at least potentially. I just feel for anybody that's in that sort of situation and not being like a complete asshole. Like,
he's only losing $12 million, which sounds like a lot, but if he ends up getting a larger contract after next year, then in 5 years, whatever hundreds of millions they're giving away, then it was the right decision. And if not, it's clearly the wrong decision. But this is one of those, show it years. Unfortunately for Kuzma and them, I don't know where they're going to be showing it, but okay. Poor guy.
They're in Washington, right? All right, that makes sense.
Championship.
Well, but I mean, they're not going to be showing it in the playoffs, is I think Ryan's point. They'll be showing it,
on NBC Sports Washington.
I was going to say, to the locals. That's it.
We're making the playoffs. Kiss my ass.
Are you?
If the play-in counts as the playoffs, then sure.
We made the playoffs last year above Steph. I mean, we got
In the
washed
East.
right up out of the playoffs.
In the East.
We made it. We made it to the dance. I'm just saying, I think this team can make it to the dance again. Even though I'm not going to disrespect, Russell Westbrook was the key cog in making that happen at the end of last season. I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah. Alrighty. Let's move on to the NFL. We did kind of discuss this a little bit. I don't know how much, but we're going to switch gears and talk about Michael Thomas versus the Saints. He's been liking tweets saying like how, he put off surgery to make a playoff run because it was Breeze last year. And then now the team is pissed off that he's injured and all this other stuff. It got to a point where I didn't think he was going to play for the team this year. What the hell is Real Sociedad doing right now? What?
Live reaction from James.
Fam, no, they just scored twice in like a span of like 2 minutes. The fuck is this?
That's some FIFA shit for you.
Come on, guys. We can't. The fuck. All right, whatever.
You're the moderator. Stay focused.
Fuck you. Were you focused during Arsenal?
I wasn't on.
Well, I'll let you guys not get into the soccer. And so what I'm going to do is just kind of come and do this real quick.
Cool.
So Michael Thomas, right?
Neto, what the fuck?
It's him versus the Saints right now. It's been reported that apparently he's going to have a meeting with the Saints organization because they're like,
they already had the meeting.
They had the meeting.
Yeah, he's on the sideline.
And so they're trying to improve their relationship, and I want him to be traded to the Ravens because we need him, and that's all I got.
You're just as bad as fucking James, man.
Yes, because I was thinking the same thing. I want to come over.
Oh no, he's disgruntled, so let him come over on my team. Where
I don't do that. I don't do that with every player though.
The sky is blue and the Ravens need a wide receiver. I think those two things.
He's absolutely right. That's not a dig. That's not a dig. That's like saying, like the Washington is a good team. Like we have a winning record over time. Like check us, but we're top 5 winning records the last like 15 years. Fuck him. Fuck you talking about? Fucking Washington. Fuck out of here. We run the DMV area. Fuck out of here.
You Brown. You're the fucking Cleveland
weak ass team, and your colors are ass. Your colors are ass. You don't even have a fucking mascot. You don't have a fucking mascot. What the fuck is a Washington football team? Every team is a football team. That's stupid.
You're a Ravens fan.
The Dallas football team. That's stupid.
I'm a Lakers fan and also like the Ravens. I'm just going to pick something else out of my ass. Fuck you.
Weak ass team. Shit. Can't produce shit. Go for 8 wins this year.
Nigga got a Wi-Fi connection. Think he can say something now. All right, look. The Michael Thomas situation is pretty much exactly what it is. We were saying, like akin to what you said, James, last week with the Scottie Pippen Last Dance bullshit.
Yeah,
right? It's a devolving situation. They're doing anything they can to repair because right now, honestly, with the way things are shaped out, they just need to deal with each other for at least a short amount of time. Like maybe we can figure it out down the road, whatever, move them, not move them, doesn't fucking matter. Just let's get in here and see what it is we need to do. Because, I mean, if you're looking at the Saints right now, they really need to do something and to have something that they can hold their hat on going forward. The Drew Brees era is over, and they need something to really just to move forward with. I think it's really exciting that they have Winston and Hill there behind center. Like I think it's extremely interesting and very, very cool thing that could be the next great thing for the organization going forward. But they're going to need those weapons in order to get any of that shit done.
They had 6 turnovers last night, by the way.
Who caused them? Like what team caused them? No, never mind. So and aside from that, if they don't want to go, if they don't want to go the Washington no mascot name route and like be a team that's not in the playoffs for long periods of time, I completely agree with K-Dot.
You're named after Edgar Allan Poe poem.
It's a good poem. It is a good poem.
Hold on.
Doug, the Mayflower. You remember you weren't alive for when the Mayflower trucks left.
Were you?
I wasn't either. But here's what I do know. I live a few blocks away from all the economic disparity and shit after they moved away, and the stadium wasn't worth anything off the 33rd Street. I'm very familiar with Baltimore and the way it fucking works. You guys let a football team leave, and half the goddamn city left with them because there's no jobs in the fucking city. Okay? So I know for a fact how the fuck it works in that city as far as football team. How it is that it's holding on for dear life because it's the only economic opportunity we have. Fuck off. All right, that's all.
That just sounds bad for the city. What does that have to do with having a good football team? Not a damn thing.
Into it.
This is a great city, and their fucking team.
You have a continuation of the Cleveland fucking Browns in purple. It's fucking bullshit.
You guys are the Cleveland Browns now. You can't fucking win a game.
We've won games. We were in the playoffs last year. Kiss my ass.
I mean,
that's what Washington fans are hanging their hat on. We were in the playoffs. How'd it go? Not so good. Okay.
Hey, guess what? My franchise has more Super Bowls than your franchise. Fuck off.
They do?
Yeah, they do.
Y'all got 3?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. When was the last time y'all won?
It's been a while.
92.
Y'all lucked into a murder at linebacker and they cut you or something.
I'm very much a modern guy, but you know.
Yeah.
The pass is great.
Oh, Falta. Oh,
God damn.
All right, so let's go on to our team's preseason performances so far. So we just mentioned the Saints, and I didn't even know that they played the Ravens. So, Keem, I'm assuming you watched the game?
I didn't even get to watch it. I just followed it on Twitter.
Yeah, nobody.
He can't watch it because he ain't gonna have Mid-Atlantic fucking Comcast.
No, it's because I was moving. It's because I was moving. But anyway,
did you forget to set up your modem when you moved, or what happened?
But anyway, you guys are great. It was that was just from what I saw, the Ravens offensive line is terrible, but they're super hurt right now, so it wasn't that great of a game.
I think we can all agree game 1 of the preseason, except for like a couple of the games, doesn't matter. You're not really getting your starting quarterbacks, your starting running backs. You might get a starting defensive squad for like a series. But
but for us, we were hurt, so it was much worse. And so because we didn't get a first down to the second quarter, and that was nuts. And we forced 3 turnovers in the first quarter. So that's insane to me. And one of them, they got the ball to the 8 and didn't get a first down. And that's fucking sick. So but it was bad. It was bad. It was bad. Go Saints. They'll be better.
I tried to watch Jags last night.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was painful game. And then I was like, all right, maybe I watched a 1 o'clock game, or forget what it was. I watched 5 minutes. It was like, this is painful. I can't watch this. I haven't watched much of any of the preseason just because it is just not a good product. I understand why it's done so people can get reps. For example, the emergency quarterbacks, the third strings who have to stay away because of COVID. This is their first time under center all preseason. They haven't really played any snaps with anybody because they're the emergency quarterback. Good for them. It's not good for television. Stop giving me this garbage and telling me, oh, it's the first Trevor Lawrence pass. I don't care, man. It's bad. It's not a good product you're putting on television. When's the season start? How long do I have to sleep to wake up and have it be football, real football?
I'm not even gonna lie. I care about the first Trevor Lawrence pass, but I just think he's gonna be a legend. I think he's gonna be a legend.
Justin Fields looked really good.
He did too. He did.
K-Dot, who did you think is the best quarterback coming out of this draft?
Fields, because
that's weird. Me too.
And I still think I still kind of hold that bust stock, but hey, I'll be on here 6 months from now, so I don't know how wrong I was anyway. The preseason to me does matter, and it is something I do tune into. It's because, especially if I'm looking at Washington right now, where you have certain positions are really, really crowded, be it wide receiver, be it running back. I want to see who's getting the reps and who looks good depending on what unit is out there. So that to me is extremely important. So going down, quarterback position, Ryan Fitzpatrick looked awesome. He's got zip on the ball, he's got touch. There was a pass that he had to Logan Thomas, who was right over the back. it was a thing of fucking beauty. And Logan Thomas actually looking good again, too. Some of the younger tight ends, Samish Reyes, who's never played a down of football until the other night at tight end. You can see that he still struggled with some stuff, but from an athletic standpoint, he still got it.
Wait, didn't you say he's going to be the best tight end in football?
Yeah. I did say that, and I'm stuck with it. Samish Reyes, if he makes the team.
Man,
that is
saying some wild shit.
But why?
That is fucking nuts. Yeah. It was the yeah for me. Yeah. Like a fucking cartoon character. Yeah. Like, no, is he?
Keem missed me last week. Keem missed me. I'm glad you recovered from COVID, Dick. The aspect of also the wide receiver room being as deep as it is, right? So I know I've talked about the wide receivers.
My test was negative. My test was negative.
Keem coming, reporting from the Matrix again. Some things never change, even if the addresses do.
But he said his results was negative.
Yeah, good for him. I don't know if that's a joke I can't make. Outside of that, the wide receiving room being as crowded as it was, I wanted to see what they look like depending on who's their quarterback. And you even see news came out, Washington released Kelvin Harmon, who was a guy that I was rooting for and I was hoping he was going to make the team. He had terrible injury luck, was a guy that we were really excited about coming out of college, but he's gone. You look at the running backs, it's a packed room. Jared Patterson, rookie running back from Maryland, who his short guy, Ron Rivera has described him as like a Darren Sproles type. You can see him and Peyton Barber kind of fighting it out to see who is going to make it to be that kind of more power back. There's a lot of interesting dialogue or a lot of interesting storylines, depending on how deep you want to dig on how far you want to dig on the team. And that to me is a lot of what it is that you're seeing with Washington right now. And I'm excited about it. I love what Fitzpatrick was looking like. Heineke had some moments where you're like, all right, that dude's a gunslinger, but he's going to make some stupid mistakes every once in a while. And Steven Montez, I say right now, dude, I like you, but I'm hoping Kyle Allen comes back. And Dustin Hopkins, dude, figure it out, because you can't be kicking the way that you did and expect to stay here on the team.
All right, now Ryan, go ahead and discuss like what you saw from the Bills preseason.
See, Keem's over there trying to crack jokes, but his internet doesn't work,
so
it's
bad.
really hard to laugh at something that could be funny, but we'll never quite know.
All right, you're talking over Ryan. Go ahead, Ryan.
I mean, look, I didn't get to see any of the first squad. Jake Fromm looks solid as our emergency quarterback, which based on our vaccination status, we could be using a lot of him. So that's comforting. I mean, that last drive, the field goal, Kyle Bass is one of the best kickers in football. So we got that going for us. But I mean, when what's his name? Davis Webb is like starting. That's not our $250 million guy. So, I mean, defense looked good. We're playing Detroit. So like, I'm not hanging my hat on anything because that franchise is a disaster all the time. But, with our second squad, we pulled out a win. So I guess I'm happy. Kicking game looked good, which should be important late in this, like going into the winters. There's a lot more kicking done in Buffalo because of the winds. So whatever. Right. I mean, I'm more interested in what happens week 3. Yeah. Week 4, they sit everybody anyway. So
there's no week 4 this time.
Well, yeah. So I guess next week then.
Yeah. Next week's going to be the real test. So for the Raiders part, I was interested in seeing how our defense did. We've had struggles with defense over the past few years, as everybody knows, like the world knows, the Raiders know, like, yeah, no secret. Yeah, we do. Okay. Gus Bradley came in, and got to say the team moved a lot faster. There was a lot of speed on that fucking field. We were actually creating pressure, which we did not do last year at all. We played Ryan's team. Ryan, when you watched us, when you watched us lose to y'all, there was no pressure created. This time we actually created pressure. We beat the Seahawks 20-7, but that doesn't necessarily matter because Russell Wilson didn't play, Derek Carr didn't play, Marcus Mariota didn't play either. So the basically the whole game was ran by Nate Peterman, who, but he actually played well. I was interested to see our makeshift offensive line. We didn't have the left side playing, but the left side starters. But then we had our new starting center. He played, did all right. Didn't do too bad. And yeah, our top 2 receivers didn't play. Our running back didn't play either.
Yeah,
Darren Waller didn't play. Our fucking top 3 tight ends didn't play either. So
Darren Waller did just celebrate his 4th year of sobriety.
Yep. Congrats
shout
to
out to Waller.
And the Raiders celebrated by giving him a $30,000 check to his foundation.
That's awesome.
I thought they were gonna say like a bottle of champagne. It's like,
they're like, congrats. Here's some blow.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
It is Vegas.
I'm sorry.
What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
There's a lot. There's a lot.
But there is something else. So Darren Waller hasn't been practicing the past, like since training camp started, right? He's been there, but like off to the side. It's clear to me that he's like, he would like in a normal year be like a training camp holdout because he wants a new deal. Like that's kind of where I'm getting like the vibe from. Just to the fact that he has not practiced at all. John Gruden played it off the first couple practices. Like, yeah, we're just giving him like some time just to chill himself. We know what he can do. We're just trying to give everybody else some reps. And like, yeah, that sounds good, but I mean, I don't believe it.
He's there, so that's step 1, right?
No, you have to be there now with the new like CBA.
Yeah,
like,
you don't want to.
There's no more holdouts.
He's just here so he doesn't get fined.
Right, but that's everybody now. Like everybody that's like announced that, like, hey, like Xavier Howard for a short period of time was like, hey, I'm here, but I'm injured.
Watson.
Yeah.
How are those practices?
His situation a little different.
Awkward. All right, can I add 2 things real quick? Number 1, just on the Washington football team, Chase Young. I saw the highlights.
That guy looks good
on national TV and all over.
That guy looks good.
Looks amazing. Just picking up where he is. But the second thing I want to bring up, because we had talked about in last episode, was Dwayne Haskins.
Oh, that was where I was going next. But go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we keep it reason.
That's the segue into Dwayne Haskins.
There we go. Dwayne Haskins looked good. I sent everybody a text of the errant throw. Like,
it was that throw.
Fuck was that
throw was so bad.
I feel like the receiver was supposed to keep running though. Like it could have been that type of situation.
It looked worse than it was. It was. You could tell it was a miscommunication as far as whatever route he was running. But it just looked so bad.
But you see all the comments. Everybody was just cooking him.
Yeah.
He went off from the whole domestic violence shit with his. I think it was his wife, right, or his girlfriend, his wife.
His wife or fiance. I think they had just gotten married.
Yeah, I think that's too.
Okay, so that situation happened.
First off,
the fallout from what happened
shout out Dwayne Haskins for not retaliating. That's tough.
Yeah. But what
I'm not gonna say it's tough, but like it's just what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, no, but like a lot of people wouldn't react that way. He maintained himself even whilst getting punched in the mouth.
But to keep the third line on Dwayne, as we've talked about him, because I mean he was Washington's quarterback. I've always said his time in Washington was over. It was done. We couldn't have continued. But I am very hopeful right now that it looks like he's got an organization, a coach that believes in him and is giving him every opportunity. And it looks as though, I know it's way too early to tell, but it looks, and I'm hoping that this is the push that he needed to be one of the most, I mean, a job that comes with great territory is the fucking quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, there's not few franchises that are more repped and held in such high esteem. And to think that you could be the heir apparent to a Hall of Famer in Ben Roethlisberger, that's a hell of a way for what you could have been career was over after what had happened in Washington. So I'm hopeful that it works out. It looks like he's doing things more positively than he has been. And it looks like his team and all those guys, they were really, really happy for him as he was having a really good game.
Yeah, he's going to be a good backup or at least this season, obviously, if Big Ben's there.
Yeah. Yeah, but Big Ben's one hit away. As
hope he keeps
watching. Is.
He's one motorcycle accident away.
I wasn't going to say that, but all right.
Oh, sorry. That would be a second one. Anyway, continue.
Wow. Okay. That was a terrible take. or a terrible comment, but
he
you know
crashed
who
a
else made a
motorcycle
terrible
without
comment?
a helmet.
You know who else made a terrible comment this week? I know, K-Dot. It was fucking terrible, but I'm doing it. It's happening. Skip Bayless. We've been talking about him a lot on this show.
I wish we weren't, but here we are.
Yep, we are. Did you all watch that segment where Skip Bayless versus Jenny Taft, and Skip was discussing Mike McCarthy's outfit and his physique and how he wouldn't want him as a coach for his personal preference? And Jenny Taft said, "Fuck that. I got time today. You getting all this smoke live on air." And Shannon Sharp just sitting there like, "Oh, he about to get it. He about to get it." Shannon Sharp looked like the sibling when the other sibling was about to get his ass whooped by the parents.
Motherfucker, just throwing. He's the motherfucker in the back left. Oh,
yeah. I bet you won't swing. You won't swing.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I watched the segment. Skip was 100% wrong, like just based on that. And I mean, you can tell there's some tension between them, like just outside of that segment in itself. Because if you hear all the other shit that she said, it's like, yeah, I can talk. I can have an opinion on this show. And then Shannon Sharp was like, yeah, like, hey, y'all chill out. We all a team. And then Skip comes in and says, no, we not. And I'm like, oh.
Right after the match, right after commercial, we'll be back where I might have more things to say. Great. Just fucking great, Jenny. I think that what you're looking at with that situation itself is there's tension, and look, there's a multitude of ways to break this down, right? So, like, there's number one, Skip's take on Mike McCarthy, which I think people are having a debate about whether or not it's actually something that you can debate as far as whether or not a overweight head coach can be qualified to motivate guys. I think it's well worth in the realm of things to talk about. It's just a terrible, stupid
I think
take.
It's stupid.
I'm saying it's a stupid take. Like, I don't think it's off limits, but I just think it's a dumb take.
What,
and I say this as the rep
done athletically at all to even.
Hold on. I say that as the fat guy of the group. I understand someone looking at me. I'm a consultant. What I don't say is I'm a life coach. Because if I'm going to life coach somebody and tell them, hey, do these things right, and they're like, well, motherfucker, why can't you put down a cheeseburger? It's hard to come back from that, okay? So I'm just saying there's a certain element of that argument that I understand. I just think his take was terrible.
All right, let me counter that part of your, like, that you said you understand. I played, like, football for a long-ass time. A lot of my coaches were overweight.
You're missing my point. You're missing my point. I know. I'm not saying that it's routed in anything. Vince Lombardi, overweight. Fucking Mike Holmgren, overweight. Okay. How many coaches do we have? Bill Belichick, yeah. He's the perfect bash in the fucking hell. No. None of these guys are in a – look, it's a dumb take to have. Okay. I'm saying whether or not you are allowed to have the conversation about it, I think you are. It's just if you are coming to town with that take, expect to get laughed the fuck off because it's a stupid take to have. That's it. I'm not arguing about whether or not we don't need to argue the merits of that take.
Cool. Fair enough. Right. What was the other point?
These networks have completely fucked up what it is that the host is supposed to mean on the show. Right now, what they've done, like, I know I've been on here and I've said how many terrible things about Molly on First Things First or First Take.
First Take. Yeah.
It's hard to tell all these fucking stupid shows. So you have certain people that are almost expected that they are going to have their takes. Anytime Dean Cain is on or Will Cain is on, he does it. Anytime that you had, like, what was it, Jay Crawford at the beginning, he used to have his own takes, and he would come and he would speak on shit. Like, there was always this element of, like, if they're a male that's sitting in that seat, you're going to hear their opinion. And if you're a female, it's almost like, But then there were some females that actually got beyond that. Carrie Champion, loved hearing what it is that she said when she was sitting in that seat. Jenny Taft, also one of the ones. I love seeing what it is they say when they're sitting in the seat. And
was Jenny the same one that fought, that, like, had an argument with the Baller Brand dude, LeVar Ball?
No. That was on Colin Cowherd.
Okay, yeah. All right.
So you have all those things where, like, the people, the network makes it seem as though people are tuning in to hear these two guys talk. You're just there to move it along. And I think that that's an unrealistic expectation for what that seat means depending on who's filling it. And sometimes I don't even know if it's the network as much as it's just the personality in that chair that is able to just have their takes and still move the conversation going, and we don't blink twice at it. I think Molly's different because she actually just brings the conversation to a grinding halt. It's just the way that she does her transitions are really rough for me. It's not even that she says things that I think are terribly wrong. I just think the way that she goes about it just cuts the conversation off really, really abruptly. Compared to like Jenny added her 2 cents right there at the end. Skip didn't have to say a motherfucking word. Could have left it alone, and that's where it was. But the entire vibe was like, know your place. And that ain't the vibe at all that anybody needs to be having when you're sitting in that fucking seat.
Mm-hmm.
And to give not Skip any credit, but there was the story. This is on the heels of the Lane Kiffin story where he dropped like 40 pounds in the offseason because, in his opinion, he felt like a hypocrite explaining to his players that, you know, how they should be in shape and how they should be getting vaccinated, et cetera, and worrying about their health when I forget how he described himself. He described himself as an anaconda that swallowed a deer and the deer got stuck in its throat. That's how Lane Kiffin described himself. And he was like, I just feel like a hypocrite. That's one side to take, right? You're allowed, Lane Kiffin as an individual and as a coach is allowed to have that opinion about himself. Skip Bayless is not allowed to have that opinion about somebody else. You see what I'm saying? I get where he probably read this article. He's like, oh, fat coaches are bad. But that's just the reality of football is that most of these people were athletes or were athletic. And then what happens is once you stop running 1,800 miles a day and you're still consuming 4,000 calories, you tend to gain some weight, right? And these guys are still out there. You know, they're not sitting in a desk all day. These guys are standing on a fucking football field, walking around, getting their exercise. Like, the comments I think are, it was a slow news week.
And
I really
also, like, if you,
I don't see why else
one
that would
extreme
come up.
If you do one extreme in anything, you stop, you're going to tend to go to the other end of that same extreme.
Yeah, I mean, it's just how it is.
So,
and like, I don't care for Skip Bayless. I don't think that that's a secret.
I never had an issue with him, but just like some of the stuff he says, I'm like, fam, what are you doing?
I do.
When you have a negative, like if you have a hot take, the hot take should never be, it should be about someone's game or someone's play, etc. Like a hot take could be that Mike McCarthy's a garbage coach, and here's why. But not Mike McCarthy's fat, because that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. That's not, what does that have to do with his performance? Like if he was a wide receiver, you could be like, man, Mike McCarthy is running a 6'4". Like that's not going to help the team at all, right? But the fact that he's a coach, it's not, it doesn't hurt or help his team. And so the comments are relevant. And then you're going to get some smoke for it.
I got a hot take. Let's see how this works. American football is the worst popular sport to play nowadays. Does anybody disagree?
To play in terms of as a player?
Like if I'm a kid and I'm like, or if I'm a parent and I want my kid to play a sport, football's gonna be the last one.
Yeah, but that's because it's the most unsafe. It's like the most brain damage and shit. Like that's easy to say.
All right, like, I'll say like if I was to play a sport, like I love football growing up, but now
okay, say it with this caveat: if football was if they were on equal terms of safety, is it the worst sport to play?
Are we adding in longevity too, and quality?
Yeah, sure. We're talking about safety, where he's getting rid of the safety element.
Yeah.
Then no, I'll probably say
can't separate those though.
No, like it would be baseball to me.
Right, but see,
because like you might get hit in the head.
My point,
like
that's my point. It's really only about the safety part of football. Otherwise, everybody would fucking play it.
Right, but it's very tough to make that sport safer.
Right. And
no, I would also add this point. Like you get paid more in baseball to do less than you would in football.
It's a different thing. I don't I literally, like I've said this on the podcast. I don't think there's a single thing in sports that's so integral to your ability to play the sport. It's harder to do than hit a baseball. I think it's the hardest thing in all the sports that you have to do in order to even play. You have to be able to hit one.
Mhm.
And I don't think there's anything harder than that.
Or throw a ball.
Or the way they throw those goddamn balls 100 miles an hour, or make them spin and do different things in the fucking air. I'm sorry, that's fucking hard to do. It's a different skill set, right? Whereas with the NFL, you have to have a certain level of athleticism, a certain level of fearlessness, a certain level of like fearlessness to the point of stupidity to want to play. But I think that the pushback that I give you is that, so this was something that you workshopped in the text group before we came live.
It didn't really.
It's a slow news week.
This is not the way you phrased it.
It's not.
When you phrased it, you said was the worst popular sport. Now you get on here and talk about it's the worst popular sport to play. Those are two different things. As far as like the safety aspect, if you eliminate that, it's without question the most fun. It's the most fun to watch. There's an element of danger that makes things entertaining, period. Formula One, as much as it's as safe as it is, when there's a car accident, your eyes are fucking glued to the TV. Why? It's exciting. All of you guys watch combat sports.
Is there a race today?
No. All of you guys watch combat sports, UFC, fucking boxing, all that shit. You don't watch them to see them fucking just touch each other. No, you want to see somebody get knocked the fuck out. There is some aspect of this shit. Sir. Well, I mean, what other reason would you be watching it? We're literally saying one of two things. There might be some people that are just into them touching each other, compared to other people who want to watch them get knocked the fuck out. What else? Why else are you there? Why else are you watching?
I want to see you choke this man until there's no oxygen left in his brain.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you cannot, to say something's not, no, it's bullshit. And you know it's bullshit, which is why you changed the entire dynamic of your take before you could even.
But you see, I admit when I'm wrong and when you're right about something.
We take it as James is saying it now.
How my internet was not working at that fucking place.
James, liar. Yeah, and we asked you if it was an in, and you said no.
I admitted I lied about that.
Yeah, you
not live. You did it.
Fucking Chicken Little. You can't run around here talking about
like. Do you know how embarrassing it was? Like to say like, yeah, I stated an in.
This guy is falling.
It's just as embarrassing as faking your internet is out because I'm demolishing you in a debate. Like it's just certain things.
I was trying. No, you just started your debate, and I was trying to hear it. That was. But continue. Whatever.
I just said everyone that I talked to all understand one thing happened that day. Thank you very much.
As far as
you said it was at the end, it was like, yeah.
As far as you rephrasing it, you are correct. I think there's a lot of parents and a lot of people, like especially in high school, when they have to make a decision, because there's a lot of multi-sport athletes. What am I going to play? Am I going to play football, basketball, or baseball? I think a lot of people are going away from football because later in life they're seeing what's happening, right?
Shit, even now, fam.
Yeah, it's
but even
it's really tough to make a decision to continue with football if you are a five tool baseball player, because you know that baseball you have a much better chance of living a full healthy life rather than playing football. And a lot of parents just straight up won't let their kids play football. It's happening. So
but see, but the thing is, like, even the qualifier popular, right? Because like if I'm a parent, the one sport that I'm absolutely like want to put my line in the sand on is gymnastics or fucking cheer more than it's football. Honestly,
go to golf.
Like that to me is like that is.
You didn't put your line like. What do you mean?
Like I'm saying, my kid's not going to be allowed to play.
Oh yeah,
allowed to participate in. Like me, gymnastics and cheer. Way over football as far from a danger standpoint or suffering injuries. I don't know how many fucking gymnasts or former cheerleaders that I know that are 30-something years old and walking with a fucking limp or have something wrong with their spine or all kinds of shit. And but nobody talks about it. Or it's just this, like that to me is
is that considered popular then?
But see, that's where I go with the qualifier. I think it's popular because, I mean, if we're looking across the nation, there might be more fucking cheerleaders and gymnasts and football players, honestly. Like, I've been to some of the competitions, being that, like, I have friends who have their kids doing it, and the shit is insane. But,
how about ice skating?
But I also think with football, as time goes on, what you see with a lot of these camps and stuff is if you're teaching now proper technique, with tackling and other things, it does become a lot less dangerous than what we used to know football as when even we were coming up through K through 12. Like there is, like I know the first time I put a football helmet on, My dumbass just wanted to go knock anything because I felt fucking invincible. And there was a certain element of that, and I knew all the football players were ready to just go run head first and shit, and that's all we watched on fucking highlights with Sean Taylor knocking out people, running a lot, knocking out people. And now you have this element of the game where it's sort of being removed from it. So I think the football overall, as time goes on, we're going to see with the technology they're doing with the helmets and with teaching proper technique and certain drills not being allowed to happen anymore, maybe football over time doesn't become or looked upon as dangerous as it is right now, or has been historically.
All right, so I went to the USA Gymnastics page. They said there's 92,575 total gymnasts.
Now add up all the cheerleaders. Add up all the cheerleaders.
All right, but
it doesn't matter. It's like we're popular, whatever it is. Like sport compared to all right, and unless it's on the Olympic stage or nationals, we're not really paying attention to it as a national consciousness compared to. We literally spent a full segment talking about NFL preseason games, popularity in a different way.
Yeah, but yeah. All right, so the final segment for this week is going to be one close to my heart. K-Dot, you can take a break, or you can listen if you want to.
I mean, I do want to participate in the conversation of how John Gruden is overrated. Is that what we're talking about?
No, but yeah, you know how I feel about that. So Messi signed with PSG. I kind of knew this was coming, just based on all the chatter and the talks and how fucking Neymar was publicly recruiting Messi to go there. Interesting part is that now that City is back on the train with Harry Kane, trying to get him from Spurs, they said that they were prepared to offer 150 million for him, which is funny to me considering the fact that they were like, quote unquote, like out of the race for Messi in the beginning because they spent on Jack Grealish, but now they're willing to offer 150 for Harry Kane. So that doesn't make any sense. But yeah, now Messi's teaming up with Mbappe and Neymar in PSG. So I call them the M&M, the M&Ms. Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, M&Ms. Ryan, question for you. Do you think M&M is going to be a better partnership than MSN? Messi, Neymar, and Suarez. Mm-hmm.
I think that PSG they have the opportunity to be one of the most unstoppable teams in the history of soccer.
Yeah.
I have also seen superstars get together and shit the bed. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give it about a month, watch them play together. And then if they're scoring 8 goals a game, I would have to say that, yes, I do believe they will be the greatest striking force.
Do you think Mbappe is better than Prime Suarez right now?
Yes.
I
think Mbappe is not even at his prime yet.
I know. But like at this point in time, I don't know.
I think he will be very soon, though, because he'll be able to play in a role that he's never played in before, where he is not the number one. Shit, he might not even be the number 2.
I don't was he the number 1 last year with Neymar there?
Number 1, number 2. But now they have Messi. Your best defender is going to have to stare at Messi the whole time. And then you have Mbappe and Neymar. Just
Messi's just gonna be sitting there, just walking around, just chilling, looking.
As soon as the ball's at his feet,
yep, it's over.
Somebody's gonna miss Neymar or Mbappe running 1,000 miles an hour past them. It's gonna be dirty. So, it's gonna be so dirty.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch every PSG game just to see that happen. But of course, you know where my allegiance lies. That's all I have. So, final thoughts. Who wants to go first?
I'll go. It's real short.
Okay.
So, the Mets, who had been in first place since May, now have a 10% chance to win their own fucking division. Hey, yo. Fucking A.
Didn't Zach Wheeler beat y'all too?
Fuck you. Continue.
Well, I mean, you got him from us, so it is what it is. All right, who's next?
I just want to say my final thoughts is basically that I'm glad that football is back. We basically got football until February now, and I'm super pumped. Ravens are contenders, and I think it should be a really good season. I think we'll get probably Pat Mahomes and Tom Brady rematch in the Super Bowl, and I think it'll be a classic this time instead of the fucking trash ass Super Bowl that we watched in February.
So bad.
Fair enough. All right, go ahead, Gerd.
I happen to like that Super Bowl. Number one, if you are, I know I've said this on the podcast before, if you are out of your own will and choice deciding not to get vaccinated, fuck you. There are ICUs in Dallas County that have no more room for kids. There's an 8th grader that just passed away after being diagnosed with COVID. The numbers are running rampant over all areas that don't take masks seriously and they don't take vaccination seriously. Get your fucking act together. And secondly, oh, sorry.
Oh, there's it's starting to show that there's like a type of like pneumonia that only kids get. And if they get the Delta variant, they're much more likely to get this pneumonia. And it's pneumonia that kills them, but they can't get it unless they get the COVID. Just come on, folks. And get your goddamn booster if that's available. I don't care if you're going to be sick for a day or whatever. You get a free day off work or you get to feel like shit for a day or whatever you got to do. Just get it. Nobody cares. Look, I'm just as fat and stupid as I was before. Nothing happens.
And I actually, I'm happy that my clients have decided to take my suggestion and start requiring vaccination cards for people that want to enter the bars. But the second part, which is something that's been on the news a lot recently, and I dabble in, is that the Afghanistan looks to be going right back to exactly where it was back in 2001. And I think more than anything, instead of what people are trying to do, which is blame Biden for getting out of Afghanistan, is need to look and realize how fucking idiotic and stupid it was for us to be there in the first goddamn place. The war in Iraq and the war in Afghanistan basically left a region completely less fucking safe than it was 20 years ago. And what did it cost us? $6.4 trillion, 800,000 plus dead, 300,000 of which were civilians. You have 7,000 dead American troops in combat, 8,000 contractors dead, 150,000 coalition force members dead, and 30,000 American soldiers, servicemen that have committed suicide since 9/11 after going to combat over there in those countries. Right now, we need to understand and realize that the way that we have done foreign policy in this country for the last 50 years has been completely fucked up. And we need to learn from our mistakes and not listen to the war hawks right now that are telling us that we need to get back involved and to do this dumb shit. We need to do things differently.
I mean, if you can go back to the Mongols, that region will sit and wait and wait and wait for generations until you fuck off. And then they're still there. It was a goddamn waste of time. I was too young back then, but now I'm like, oh, it kind of looks like they just waited for us to leave for 20 years. No shit. They got nothing but time. It's their country.
Say the same fucking thing for the last 20 years. I remember the first essay I had to write in 7th grade about this shit. Saddam Hussein was a necessary evil. You know why? Over in that region, you sometimes need a motherfucker that's going to chop somebody's head off. You know why? Keep people under control. That's what you need, an iron fucking fist. He wasn't doing shit to us anyway other than fucking talking. You need bad guys sometimes.
Interesting take. I don't agree with it, but it's an interesting take.
Very interesting.
Well, Thanos was right, so
We didn't hear your statement.
Yeah, but we'll say
you said Thanos was right. That's what he said.
Oh yeah,
right.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I thought a lot more.
Now we got a lot of takes, but
a lot more assholes need to die.
I almost recorded a solo This Is Vegas pod yesterday. So
just high and angry. All right, folks, I've had to pee for like 30 minutes.
I abstain. So
all right, I'm grabbing food.
All right, love you all.
Hot Ones Challenge, maybe come to the challenge a little bit later. Get out of this white shirt, start eating some hot wings, baby.
Or dude, put on an apron, man. Go all out.
We're in a fucking apron. We getting dirty in here. You know what I'm saying? So
then you should probably wear an apron. Anyway.
No, that's actually a valid point. And if you didn't know, now you know because he told you. Bye.